Hi, welcome to the roundtable. Today is October 11th, and I'm really glad you guys are all here to play. We've cleaned up the audio. We had a little behind the scenes before the roundtable, banging and clinking, and we got that all covered. So today's roundtable, we're going to have a jumping off point, and we're going to do it on choice point of where we are, where we're changing, how we're moving in the world, the energies that we're holding, what our focuses are, and what we're giving our contribution to. And as odd as it may seem, we can give a contribution to negative things depending on what the predominant vibrational energy that we're holding. So I'd like to just start off the call by jumping in with whoever feels moved to give voice to giving choice, what you're giving choice to, and what's your predominant energy vibration.
I'll get started. I'm Lucia, and I am giving choice to slowing down and taking care of my physical vessel.
Great.
And that's
Hi, this is Andrew.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi. What I am focusing my energy on is holding the idea of a better world, and how do I see that coming about, and holding that energy space, the world that we really want to create, and thinking about what, if given the opportunity, how to make a difference in the new world, how to be the bridge from where we are now to where we want to get to. That's what
Great.
I am giving my energy to.
Great. Well.
Hey, Andrew. Yeah, I think that's
Hi.
awesome as far as, being able to decide what we're going to do once these changes happen. We all know that we're going someplace and we're going very, very quickly. And I think what I'm struggling with personally at this point in my choice aspect is choosing how I'm going to make that influence, because you have this mentality, and it's a breakdown of, well, I don't have anything to contribute. So where I'm seem to be struggling is finding what I can contribute on a greater scale in order to ensure that we are going to have a good, positive outcome, with all these changes that are coming to light.
Yeah.
There are so many things going on.
Oh yeah. The veil has been.
Yeah, and one of the things, Andrew, that you mentioned is that you're holding the vision, and
yes,
that's cool because it's opening up. That speaks to me that it's opening up that energetic envelope, and so the pathways can easily flow. Another way,
correct.
I don't know if that's the way you hold it, but another way too is, when you're making choices, when you're experiencing through different parts of your day, wherever you are, however that's taking place, does that carry through? Is there a forward, so you're taking steps in each moment with that same intention?
Yes. No matter what
And
I am doing or what I'm focused on, it is, I hold the energy of the best outcome and the most expansive outcome for all. Visualizing in the situation how it could be even more expansive. So any situation I find myself in, I try to see more than one possibility, and choose the try to choose the path that I believe is in the highest good of all. So that's how I
Great.
am interacting with what flows during my day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that
I
makes
think
any
that's
sense.
really important to learn to see more than one outcome. I need to sharpen that skill myself.
Yeah, that's the quantum space, because you can have well, all of us in this room on the table can have there's 8 of us here, so we can have different perspectives, and they all can be correct for where our perception is. So
True.
if we can look at things in different ways, then that really helps us to have more connection. So Judith, how are you doing that now? How does that flow for you, and where you're thinking there might be a sharpening that needs to take place?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with, your contribution. Like you want to contribute and you want to make sure that, everything, you're giving the right information, or, you're giving the right energy out to the greater good. And I think it has a lot to do with that. Like, I just don't necessarily know if what I'm giving out is in fact, something that is going to be beneficial to the world. And I think I just really need to stop and reevaluate. I know that I used to do it before where, something would happen and you were, you had a positive reaction no matter what was happening. But it tends to these last few days tends to be a little more negative than I would like. And it's an emotional reaction, as opposed to, hold on, wait a minute, let's think about this and see how this could play out. But it's always that you need to make sure that it's for the greater good, like Andrew had said. And I think that's really important. So that's an excellent reminder to myself that something that I need to work on in that aspect. And also choosing how I can contribute even more.
That really resonates with me, because I have also been more negative than I have ever been in my life within this past week. And at first I was trying really hard to control it, but I think it's really important to honor your feelings. And I am always trying to hold the space of stewardship for Gaia, but my body is breaking down, and I really need to let the people around me know.
Yeah, I feel that exactly.
If it comes out as negative, I am going to forgive myself for being negative, because I've held it together for so long, as I think all of us have.
Yeah, and I think there's a big difference between focusing on negative and allowing thoughts that are negative or feelings that are negative, or you just, I don't feel good today and I'm grumpola and, I'll back off. But that's not holding it. If you're noticing it and you're recognizing it and you're integrating it and you're moving through, giving yourself a break, giving other people a break as well, all that flow, then that's just
good.
Flowing through an experience.
Yes, I'm trying to let it flow through me.
Mm-hmm.
And I this is Sheila, and I've got to say, I have been having a suspicion in terms of allowing whatever is coming to flow, to experience it, because I was having trouble determining what was mine. Now I'm beginning to wonder if in some cases there might be some processes that are taking place for maybe like all of humanity, in a sense, the collective, and it may find something within me that that particular portion of consciousness recognizes. So if I'm open to feeling it and trying to, it may not be mine, but there's something in there that it's connecting to that maybe I can help myself process through that as well. If it's not something that I want to hold on to, because there's lots and lots I would rather not hold on to. It seems to make it go a little easier and a lot faster for me anyway.
That's gorgeous, Sheila, what you just said. What that feels to me, and what I'm picking up from your energy, is that that's a combination of integrating for you the parts of it that are lighting you up. So if something else out there that's more of a collective negativity or releasing thereof is going on, you're taking the part that touches off in you, integrating that. But you're also, as many beings right now are doing, is they are helping to transmute the collective energies. There's a lot of stuff flying off. The tubes of toothpaste are squeezing off all over the place. So that's part of the work that we're all doing. That's excellent. That you see that, feel it, know it, and that's what you're doing.
It's sometimes hard to recognize that that's what it is. Sometimes, because there's that tendency of the self-worth thing and, all of that kind of stuff too. And then sometimes when it presents as physical pain, it's also kind of hard to separate.
Right. Well, a lot of the physical pain, a number of you have already mentioned it on around the table tonight, but there's so much light, so much energy, so many upticks, up-levelings, and frequency changes right now that it is affecting you on a physical level. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden, you've got some irreparable damage or stress is going on. It's just, it hurts those physical changes because your body has to change. It's literally not only transforming, but it's evolving to a whole different biological type state that it hasn't held before. It's, I use the analogy, it's think of a 10-gallon bucket, and, it holds whatever it's holding in there. It works well, and you can, pick the bucket up and move it around and nothing sloshes over. And now you're pouring in all of your higher selves, all of your different quantum selves are pulling back into imploding back into the you that's here, because that's the end of separation, the end of duality. There is no duality within just you, as the single aspect of source that you're looking at. So now you're trying to pour in oceans of light and source and your things, and the 10-gallon bucket's got to stretch and stretch and stretch, and sometimes it cracks a little here and there, but so that's part of what's. I think if you recognize it, I remember for some reason it makes me flash when I was having my daughter, and I went to the childbirth classes, and they said, okay, and we had a great team doing it. And they said, okay, well, this part, is going to really hurt, and this part you do this, and this will happen. And they were very specific about it, and they were very calm about it, and they were very loving about it. But they gave you the details, and like they. At one point, you'll feel kind of chill or cold or, these different states, and it'll come quickly. And they rattled off a whole bunch of things. And, so people were looking at each other in the class thinking, okay. And then, but when it was actually happening and you went through all these things very, very quickly, it was no big deal. Simply because you knew, you weren't thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening now? You knew. This is what's supposed to happen. That's right. You knew it may have been uncomfortable. It may have, want to punch somebody, whatever it was, but you knew what was going on, and so you just work through it, flow through it.
It's funny that you bring up that analogy of childbirth, because I have a very dear friend whose teenage daughter just went into the psych ward, and she kept telling everybody that she was having a baby. And she was taking off her clothes, and she was pushing, and she was convinced that she was having a baby, and she's just like a freshman in college. Mm-hmm. And today I have also been having those same symptoms. I've had intermittent stomach pains, and finally I just said to my hubby, I said, I feel like I'm having a baby. I know what she was going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So something energetic.
We're birthing a new reality, so.
Exactly.
Not easy.
It's work.
Definitely.
Lately, I feel like I'm giving birth to myself.
There you go.
I'm giving birth to the whole collective.
That's right. You need flexibility for that, don't you?
It's a lot of birthing.
Yeah, man, it's a mighty big job to turn oneself completely inside out.
Not easy. It's funny.
It's wild because I wouldn't compare it to childbirth. This is Jennifer. I mean, that hurt. I can actually manage the pressure in my head and the headaches and the I don't know. That hurt. This is like, I have uncomfortableness in my throat. Okay, I can live with that. My back hurts. Okay, I can live with that.
But you also have a knowingness that that's part of what it is. So it takes away that. Oh my, and what is wrong? What's wrong?
True.
With you? Well, my doctor used to say, "Well, you're still pregnant." And I was like, "Oh, that's really helpful, man."
You're still pregnant.
So I'll have a friend will text me and say X, Y, and Z, and I don't actually text back. Well, you're still having ascension things. I just keep quiet and send love, but it's kind of the same thing.
Oh, that's so funny. So, I don't know. I guess we all have our different perspectives, like you said. So, if it's okay, I'll just go ahead and say how I'd like to play. If that's okay with everybody?
Of course.
So, I'm trying not to focus on anything specific because I was thinking a lot and deeply how we're supposed to be taking responsibility and liability. So I'm not holding back, but I'm being cautious. I don't know individually. I know that we are touching people, we're triggering things, and not even being near people, but especially being near people. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I don't even know how to approach it necessarily, but I've been trying to focus on myself, my connection. I'm able to mostly be in a meditative state, which makes it hard. I haven't found a good balance at work. Sometimes I'm really not here. Everything around me is kind of out of focus. So the news I hear about, I'm still feeding myself with knowledge so I can kind of figure out how I fit in. But mostly I've just been trying to connect to source, connect to all, try to remain in a state of connectedness, which is hard. I have 2 children, and the youngest one is going through some things that I assume are related to this. So she had a week of no school because of the pressure and the pain in her headache, like migraine-like symptoms. So I'm trying to, not trying, it's happening. I'm asking for assistance from myself. I'm allowing information. And next thing you know, look what I found. I found the information I needed.
Funny how
so
that
I've been
works.
trying to use, I know, right? So that's what I've mostly been focusing on. I had a bump in the road where I was I felt that fear with a tinge of panic, because I was like, oh, I have to protect my children. How do I help my children? So that didn't last very long because I'm more aware and I know a trigger when I see it.
Right.
So I just meditated. I dropped into a beautiful state and the colors, and it's just amazing. So I've been, I just asked for help, and bam, once I wasn't in that place anymore and I was back where I should have been. It still didn't cure her because I can't cure her. I can try to help to a degree. At least I don't know how to heal yet.
Well, and it's her journey.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I have to be careful what I wish for, because I have to be careful how I word it, how I language it. I'm in the same house with my children. My husband and I are both on this journey together, and we're in the house with the children, and I know that my energy can expand pretty big. So I'm like, how much of this am I triggering them? I know they'll go through what they need to go through. But I have to be careful what I wish for, that it's not too wide open. Maybe, I don't know. That's how I was feeling. I don't know if that's accurate. So I'm kind of holding space. I'm focusing on love, unity, staying connected, just putting my energy out there, but not focusing it anywhere. I'm just trying to stay as part of that energy. And like I said, asking and knowing that I am allowing that information to come in. And I don't know how much of the stuff that's been going on is, I don't know. I might have seen a globe, and my daughter may have transported a hamster. Not sure. I say transported, but the hamster was in the tank, and bam, it's on the bed. So I don't know. We're having strange things happen. Dripping water, you see drips of water, but there's no actual water. There's a wet spot on the carpet, but the water didn't come from anywhere. So, and my sleep stuff, I'm just so excited about that. I mean, I'm exhausted all the time. I have these huge bruises looking like things at the corner of my eyes. But I'm okay with that for the most part. But the colors I saw one night, I had a memory. I'm going to take it as a memory. And there was just beautiful colors and swirls of energy just dancing around together. And that was when I was half awake, half asleep. Something woke me up.
I have two little ones too, and they've also been going through so much. And I was a teacher until this year. I stopped teaching, and I've always been very focused on the grades, but I have had to let it go. I'm looking at us on that app that shows you all the grades, and I am just taking a deep breath and letting it go, and I'm just letting her focus on her music. She plays the clarinet, and I feel like it puts the whole house into such a high vibrational space. I'm just trying to just let them have creative outlets for their feelings and supporting the things that I know that put her in a higher vibration, because they're going through so much in the schools. Our school was just closed for Thursday and Friday because we're in Northern California and the air quality is so bad. They had to keep the kids locked indoors, and they just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
I'm lucky that I'm able to support
them. That I haven't touched in a really long time. And those are
Your
really
what?
good. My tuning forks, my chakras.
Oh.
Okay.
And those are really helping with my physical symptoms.
Great.
Nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've put some crystals and some water. I need more than that, but I have some crystals and some water that I'm kind of using to deal with the vibrations and kind of keep them high also. I mean the high vibrations are triggering, but what are you going to do? Just go for it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Well, and trust yourselves too that that you're, in many, that goes for many layers and many experiences that you're going through, but you really can sculpt and craft how you want to move through this. And feeling miserable, it doesn't have to be one of them. But you need to trust yourself and give voice to that. Just so you were mentioning about that a little bit, Jennifer, of asking for help. Well, again, that's akin to trusting yourself that you can sculpt and craft how you want it to show up. And if things go, if things go a little nuts, like I think I mentioned before, that I refer to it as a sleepy train, where a big download or something is coming through, and you just have to go to sleep. And sometimes that happens. It's starting to come, and I'm driving down the road at 50 miles an hour, and so I will very clearly, very definitively say, absolutely not. The train has got to pass me by. I'm not getting on it right now. So that you can craft that, and I as soon as I get back, or as soon as I get to a place that I can pull over for a few minutes, right, I say, okay, now. And I can just sit and be in a quiet space, standing still in the vehicle, and let whatever's coming come, and then, then I feel great and I can move on. But so you really can, each of us has the power to do so much that we haven't even allowed ourselves to acknowledge and appreciate ourselves for. So I would think that trust and appreciation for you is a wonderful thing to hold and give space and voice to and energy to, because it helps you and all that you come into contact with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I think you're quite right, BZ, because we've been so cultured and taught not to trust ourselves and always look outside. We need to really listen to that inner voice and trust it. And
right.
It is a learning process, but I think we're going to get the hang of it pretty quickly.
And the reason we've been taught that, is because you're terrifying and very dangerous if you haven't been
Correct.
taught that.
Exactly.
And
we
the
really
terrifying
are
and very
dangerous.
That's right. It's because of the capacity and the expandability and overflowingness of the love and creativity that would come from you. If you're not taught those things and not tamped down in that way, you can't be controlled.
Correct. That's the bottom line. That's the end game. Control.
That's right.
But the confidence you gain by starting to trust yourself, when you see what happens when you trust yourself, when you see what happens for people around you, souls that you're touching you don't even know you're touching, or you're consciously when you're awake. It's just, it's so beautiful. It's just one of the, it hurts, but it's beautiful. It all hurts, but it's beautiful. Not all of it hurts, but I have this expansive, it's not a pain, but it's almost a discomfort in my chest. I've been having it for months, but it's not a heart attack. It's
your heart opening.
Exactly.
Heart
expansion. And it's remaining.
Right.
And I'm remaining. I have to not force it, but I'm happy to keep it open. If that makes sense. I'm in love with the idea of having my heart open, and I think that's where I'm leaning towards, how I can contribute. And that's an idea. We've been beat down. We've come from different situations, whatever they were. Even though we all agreed to it, depending on your perspective, we've still gone through things. But if we can keep our hearts open, and for me, I'm focusing on energy, expanding my creativity and my imagination, my imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's basically what I'm focusing on. By focusing on me, which I got good advice and I took it, by focusing on me, I'm focusing on all. So my energy's out there, my creativity's out there. I'm just careful not to make choices for other people, I guess.
Right.
Correct.
But I'm in love with being in love, so I guess I'm cheesy.
I love it.
I'm serious. That must be my calling. I just want to love everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
Loud and clear.
Okay. Well, yeah, my name is Terry. I go by Oceano online.
Oh,
But,
hi. I've seen you.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to jump on here because I guess I've put some stuff online about, going out of body and healing and, trying to heal the earth and stuff like that. And just recently, I haven't really been healing anybody because the consequences, I feel like, been having a lot of consequences and seeing the consequences afterwards, like you shouldn't have done that. So sometimes if I don't hear my voice say, hey, go ahead and heal them, I won't do it. But recently I've been just doing the earth, concentrating on the higher vibrations for the earth. And let me tell you, it gives me more than I could ever give it. It just flows through you, and then it goes right out, and you're just making a circle of just wonderful energy. But I just wanted to know if anybody else has had some experiences with their middle of their forehead vibrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, my third eye is probably trying to come open here.
That's what a lot of the headaches are. It's the workman building the projector room, expanding it in your brain, so that all of that
it's just
clarity
vibrating real hard.
Yeah.
So
I'm not having the vibration.
I thought, well, that's kind of weird, but if it works for me, I guess it's working for me. So
it sounds like it. You're connected.
Yeah, everything. It seems like a lot of people are in weird places right now vibrationally. I get around a lot of people the vibrations are just so out of whack, and I don't even, I look at them, but they always try and put their head down and keep on walking.
They're not certain what's happening.
Oh.
They aren't.
Okay.
And sometimes I have people come up to me and just start talking and talking. I'm like, okay, I don't even know you, but okay, we'll talk about this.
But they know you. They recognize you.
Yep.
You're
That's why it's happening.
They come over all the time.
So whether they can verbalize and put to words what they're feeling, they look at you, they recognize you, they know you, and they come to make that connection. It's you've all touched on it, saying it in different ways. It's that connectedness, that connection that you're creating.
And it's so strange because a lot of times at first you say, I don't know them, but then when they start talking and getting into the conversation, you're like, I knew you for billions of years. Where have you been?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, the familiarity comes back super fast. You're like,
it's crazy.
Before it'd be like, why are you talking to me? You don't know me. I don't know you, and you sure seem to be comfortable. And I'm like, hello. Come over, sit down, talk a while.
Just like talking to old friends.
Yeah.
And as Andrew said, that's that training again.
Yep.
What do we teach our kids when they're little? Don't talk to strangers.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should talk to everybody.
That's correct.
Stranger dangers.
Yeah, I just wanted to really bring up
and
one.
Of course, they make the dangers that they're telling you to point to.
Right.
Correct.
Well,
I was going to say that, BZ.
That's right. Yeah.
But I just wanted to really say one thing is I don't know maybe y'all would know this. I'm not sure. But I went out of the body a couple of years ago, and I landed up on a ship, and kind of weird guy, wasn't like us. And then he said, come into this room and sit with me. So I sat with him. He goes, you will not remember this when we're done. But something will trigger you, and all this stuff will come flooding back. And all of a sudden, I was back in my body, and I was like, well, that was weird. And then I just went to sleep. And the next morning, I woke up, and I remember the whole talking to the alien and everything. And then haven't been triggered yet, but wonder if a lot of people go through that.
I haven't had any experiences. Sorry. 5 years ago, in which someone took a picture of me and my children, and above our heads a very large metallic object with a glass dome, like the Lost in Space type cheesy 1950s UFO, appeared above our head, and there was no denying it for me. And I had never been one to focus on UFOs because I felt I was in judgment for those people who did focus on that, because I felt like they were just waiting for someone to save them instead of taking steps to help our planet.
Exactly.
But this experience really changed my focus. There is definitely something out there that is a reflection of me that I wasn't ready to see yet.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And remember, too, you're quantum, which means there is no past, present, and future, because that's a linear construct. So when you're looking at that, many times the connections you're having with, or the thoughts you're having about your star family, that's you. It's a future quote unquote you that is connecting with you.
That's awesome.
I have been having, for the past 3 days, I'm really losing the sense of boundary, that I am an individual being, and just feeling like I am becoming like just a spectrum of energy. 2 nights ago, I was having so much pressure in my head that it was scaring me. And I went into the bathroom and I turned on the light to look at myself in the mirror. And as I was breathing with my in-breath, the lights in my bathroom kept flickering. And when I just accepted it, like, wow, I am really just energy. I mean, I have never seen it more clear to me that I am nothing but the stream that is source. And I went back to bed and I said to my husband, the lights were flickering when I was breathing. And he said, yeah, I saw the lights flickering. I was wondering what was going on. So I felt good to have that confirmation. And I think we all just need more confirmation about how magnificent we are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
trust yourself when you're giving it to yourself. I mean, you gave yourself that confirmation. The husband was a nice touch, but you gave it to yourself right then and there. So trust that.
Well, all of everything.
It comes in different ways to each of us.
Yes.
But it's always something we can recognize if we remain aware.
And maybe only you will recognize it. It's always personalized.
Right. Yeah. Judith, you were saying
the strangest experience, like, hello?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, right. One of the strangest experiences I've had like that is, I remember I was walking down a road close to my father's office, and a lady I have never seen before or since just stopped what she was doing, looked at me and said, "You're doing a good job, you know." And I was like, "Why, thanks. Have a great day." And I've never seen that woman since then. And I can't tell you who she is, but she thought it important to tell me that I was doing a good job. And
isn't that amazing?
I don't think she has any clue what I was doing, but she knew that she had to say those words to me. And I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy.
Or she
It's
didn't
just
know what
interesting
you
how it happens.
Or she could have been a non-local who was
Correct.
you or connected to you that's come down to tell you.
Correct.
I mean, that happens all the time. In that moment, just to, think about all the different movies where these kinds of things happen.
Yep.
It's all hidden in plain sight. So they're telling you exactly all the things that, it's in a script because it's supposed to be, that's part of the rules. It has to be all in plain sight. And we just need to have eyes to see and ears to hear.
Yep.
Exactly. Being open.
I've done that before, where, you are out in a public place and then you see someone and then you just get this thought and it's just this overwhelming, I need to tell this person this thing right now. So, I mean, I can see where you're going with that, because that happens to me more times than I'd like to admit.
I think we all have. I mean, there was a time that I was standing in line. And
it's trusting, Judith, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, because, I've had people come back later on and say, hey, you told me that and it really resonated with me. And I mean, because let's say I'm on a college campus, and I would see someone, I would tell them something, and, I would end up meeting them again later, of course, because everything that we've already all planned out. And, they would say what an impact that had on them. And because of that, they decided to do something one way or another.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really cool.
I had an experience like that standing in line. I was getting in line, and it was a pretty long line, and my voice kept on saying, you're going to have to tell her. And I was like, no, I don't want to say anything. I really don't. And kept on saying, you're going to tell her. You're going to tell her. I said, I'm not going to. And then my little voice said, well, do you want to be in service or not? And I said, okay, I'll tell her. I get up to the front line. I get up to the front line, and I said, and that lady looked like she was crying and stuff. And I went up to her, and I went, my voice is telling me to tell you something, and I don't want to, but I'll go ahead and tell you. And she looked at me like I had two heads. And I told her, I said, your mother's in the hospital, isn't she? And she said, how do you know? I said, I just know. And I said, yeah, you're worried about your brothers. And she said, yeah, I have two brothers that won't go see her. I said, and the voices are telling me, just, concentrate on the time that you have with your mother. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Concentrate on the time that you get. Because after it's said and done, they're going to miss out on that glorious time that you got. And you're going to be able to, have that time that you wouldn't have had. So she started crying. She's crying, and I'm so uncomfortable with that. I was like, I'm sorry. Here's my money. I got to go. So I came in a couple weeks later, and she said she passed away, and I stopped concerning myself with my brothers, and now they regret not having the time, but I don't. I thought, well, that was really cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
So it worked out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was always crazy when that happened.
You mentioned earlier, about asking for help. Well, because everything is quantum, so it's all really in a spiral of energy, and we're all kind of fractals of source that are all one, that are in coherence with each other. So the trusting is both ways. So in the stories that you guys have been sharing, is you're trusting yourself, right? And you're listening to your guidance. but you're also being called to these people by them and their higher selves
Exactly.
to have this happen in the physical, in the physicality.
Correct.
Even if you don't want to sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is a free will universe.
Well, that's why
you
sometimes I describe it as I get a nudge and then I get a shove. So
yeah, there's going to be repercussions if you say no.
Yeah, because you don't want to not hear your voice. That's the biggest part of you, and that's everything.
Do it anyway, even if you don't want it.
Exactly. Yeah. And just remember, you're everybody. So if there's a homeless person, that's you. If you're a mother walking a child, that's you. I mean, if you're anything on this earth, a dog, an alien, that's you. So just keep on telling yourself, hey, that's me over there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Put you on a higher awareness, that's for sure.
Yes, and remember that as we're going through these moments of revelations and the big ones that are just about to be released wide, when those things happen and there are names and people's coming forward, that's you.
Yep.
They're
exactly. You. Have compassion for those people because they're you.
That's right. We're all in this together.
Yep. Exactly. Even the people that are doing bad to you, I mean, you perceive it as being a bad thing. You still have to look at it and say, well, they're doing their contract, they're fulfilling their contract, just like I'm fulfilling my contract, and just love them for doing that.
Mm-hmm. I have been thinking off and on over the last few weeks about something that Heather said. She was, I think she was with the, am I echoing?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I want to say she was with Bill. I think they were getting coffee. I'm not positive. It was either coffee or cigarettes. Kidding. But she was talking. Sorry. She was talking about. It's like she was upset that Parker H. Steele. She was concerned that something was going to happen to him, and it didn't have to happen. That it's supposed to be, this is an opportunity that's open up now for all of us. It didn't have to, nobody had to go down. It was for all of us. We were all going to exit the matrix, so to speak, together. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, I went from I want to love and be compassionate to I think this is my place right now is love and compassion. In between there was I want to love them. I love them. I might love them. I'm not sure if I love them. Can I forgive them? Oh, there's nothing to forgive. Oh, that's the meaning of the compassion.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It's a journey. It is a journey. And some moments on that journey, that's where, compassion for yourself. Some moments on your journey, you want to step outside or step in the closet and, jump up and down and rant and rave or flood tears or whatever it is and going, no, I don't want to, And then you take a deep breath to integrate all of those feelings. What pieces of you are holding, attachment to that, and then you move forward.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
This is amazing. I don't know. Does anybody else see things as transparent around you? Like everything that's going on around us. Like I know I'm peripherally aware of storms. I know that the country's burning down or flooding. And that's just here. There's stuff going on all around the world. Different perspectives as to why. But is anybody else having that where you're so focused even though you're moving through
You
your
got
day.
clear
and where
the
you're supposed
old
to
to make
be.
the new.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the separation of worlds means. So you're describing and seeing it that way. So it's energetic. There are different realities. That's the jumping off point of this set of the roundtables is to start from there to see who's noticing it, how you're moving through it, what you're creating from that. But there are different conscious realities, or so you could say, different earths. There's a conscious earth and an unconscious earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're seeing playing out. So you really are in the world, but not of it. So you're in and of your world where that's the conscious earth, and you're in but not of the unconscious, because you still have to move through for different things. And that's why you have compassion for them. The heart opens to it. And if something was happening right next to you in your immediate vibrational vicinity, and there was help needed or whatever it is, you'd be there to do it. But the other things, you don't fall into that same lower vibrational egoic jumping, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Exactly.
That makes
almost sense.
I've been having joyful tears a lot lately. Well, I'm like, I'm sure BZ remembers some things I said. And it all happened so fast, like in a blink of an eye.
That's right. There you go.
So, I don't know where I was going to go with that. I lost it. Oh, well, I guess there was that lack of confidence in myself. There was the concern, am I going to be left behind? Kind of, like in a linear way. Am I going to be one of the ones left behind? Am I going to be one of the ones that are going crazy and insane or like struggling? And I'm struggling, but it's a happy struggling.
Well, at least you're struggling. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's all a choice.
Well, some people don't even know they're struggling. Everybody's going crazy right now. A lot of people are, which is fine. All you can do is pull your energy back from them. But other than that, you got to let them do what they need to do to get to where they need to be.
Correct.
That's right. Nobody's missing anything.
Right.
So
exactly.
There are no saviors. There's no hierarchy anymore. All of that is gone. Some people like to play those levels, but they don't exist anymore. And nobody is missing anything. They have,
right.
They all had the same ingredients that you did, that Andrew did, that everybody on this call did, to come to the place that he is, using Andrew as an example, right? He's not missing anything. He went through his experiences. He had the different things happen and make different choices and trust a lot or not trust a lot or integrate or not integrate, all those different things. And he is where he is. And he's continuing on. So all the other people that he could look at in his experience, they're not missing anything.
They're where they need to be.
That's right. Source isn't missing anything.
Right.
We're either all source or we're not. We're either all source or we're not. We can't be half pregnant.
Yep.
Nobody can miss the boat.
Yeah, that was an old place I came from. It's nice though to be able to be an encouragement. There's one thing if everything, we'll call it the unconscious earth, if the unconscious earth is going through all this turmoil, but you're not actually in it anymore, and you're more conscious and trying to remain connected and grow in that direction, vibrating higher and higher, you can be an encouragement. It's not a savior thing or anything like that, but out of love and compassion, there are times when you can be encouraging, no matter where the other person is the other being is. So I've been trying to do that.
Absolutely.
Which leads
then
to
you're
conversations.
transmitting. Then you're transmitting.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're transmitting. Well, just by any of you on the call, just by being in the general vicinity, could be if it's on a phone line, but in person, any those kinds of things, you're transmitting. And so the very nature of where your DNA is right this moment, it is offering keys and codes to other people and transmitting that. And so you're not doing anything to them. You're just simply offering that transmission. And oftentimes, the higher self was going to say, great, we'll take those on. And the person who's standing in the physical plane may go, no, I don't want to. No, cut that out. Because I don't want to wake up. But, so it's a choice from their part. Nobody's doing anything to anybody else, but you're a transmitter. And just the very fact of being who you are and where you are in your own vibrational evolution, you are helping to change, giving them the keys and the triggers to change their DNA.
And sometimes amplify it. Definitely an amplifier.
I haven't tried that on purpose.
Oh, it's not fun.
Yeah, you can amplify it. Yep.
No, I know. I'm saying I haven't tried that on purpose.
Yeah.
I haven't done that intentionally because I'm trying to be cautious and be careful what I wish for.
Well, sometimes you can amplify the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't want to light people up.
Yeah.
Right. There's something about trying to, not the energy vibrational, like not to go low vibrational for them, but how do you explain it? I don't even know. So you're still high, but you kind of pull in a little?
Just soften it.
Yeah,
Yep.
soften it.
Pull back.
So it's not as smack upside the head kind of
Blow their heads
off. Well, if you're the image that comes to mind is if you're stroking a kitty, and sometimes your kitty is purring up a storm, and you stop petting their head or something, and they'll kind of look at you or put their paw on you and say, keep going. So you might stroke a little more firmly, right? But a lot of times it's just a gentle touch. So softening, you can soften your energy. That's the beauty of it too. Is you're doing things to be compassionate and helpful for others, but you're also, it's a wonderful gift you're giving yourself because you're allowing yourself to play with and see great feedback on it of how to arrange your own frequency vibration and how you can move it, expand it, how you can expand one side of and you're looking at your linear physical body, one side of your energy go out and send hellos to people all on the right side of you, but not on the left side of you.
Oh,
so
I haven't tried that one yet.
That's cool.
Or
above
flash
me,
the lights
below
on the right
me,
side
behind
of you.
me.
That's right. You can play with them. So what I'd love to do is spend the last bit of the call is, first off, everybody drop out of your head and into your heart and give voice to, and we're just going to play, so we're just going to go around quickly to each person and then we'll kind of build on those and go forward. So is there a block or a fear or some kind of hurdle that you're experiencing? Just, one word or a short phrase on it, and then we'll go through, because we're going to jump on the other side of that pretty quickly.
I don't know.
Around expansion or around amount opening. Go ahead, Andrew.
Manifestation. I think that's the one one thing I've been trying to focus on that has not been quite panning out how I believe it should. I think that's the one of the blockages that I'm experiencing, but we're now starting to play with it. So
Okay, great. Well,
I'm guessing self-worth for myself. Self-worth or trust in myself, which I think are actually combined to have something to do with each other. That's my biggest block right now.
Okay. Great. Sheila, who else?
Yeah, my biggest block was my mother just the past 6 months, but I got kind of past that. So now that her energy's not in my house, it's been helping. She had a very negative connotation in the house, and I tried to, smooth it over, but she wasn't having any of it. So she decided she wanted to live with her sister, and that was good. And I hope she finds her way and finds a higher vibration, but that's up to her.
Great.
Had to learn to let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do for others.
Go ahead.
My block has been isolation.
Okay.
And I'm trying to come out of myself again.
Okay. Who else?
I think my oh, sorry.
The first one who didn't say busy, and then we'll go to the one who said busy.
Oh, sorry. I think my biggest block at this point, this is Judith, is not knowing where those energies are, as far as how you're vibrating and where you're vibrating, and it's still not being self-aware enough to understand what vibrational level that I am vibrating at. I just need to become more self-aware in that.
Great. Well.
And for me, I would have to say it would be embracing the mystery, allowing myself to be in the flow and accept what comes without controlling it.
Yes, love.
That's so not. Someone's got talking in the background. So not control.
Yeah, I kind of want to control all the details of how everything goes down.
Me too. I've been in that loop a lot lately.
Great.
And the goal is to go with the flow and to be, excited about what the universe brings to me instead of being upset about not knowing those things.
Cool. You guys are doing this great. All right. Is that anybody else? Who else?
Yes, me.
Okay.
I would say it's kind of the same thing. I need to learn to go with the flow, but for me, it's more like I want this now. There might be a little bit left of measuring myself against others, but I don't know if it's that simplistic right now. But I just need to let it flow from me, through me, to me. That's definitely a block, I think, or I allow it to be a block.
Great. Okay, did we get everybody? Okay. So one of the things that I'd like to have you feel into is that each one of you stated in your own way, from your own experience, very similar things. And part of those things, another way to say them would be that because you're going quantum and because everything is shifting and expanding and we're up leveling, all of those old energy patterns and the way that someone's got to turn their, you guys, Lisa and who was in the same house together? I think you're going, it's echoing. Anyways.
No, I don't think so. I'm muted.
Okay. Those frames of mind, those ways of looking at things and gauging things within ourselves or as a feedback from external to us, those are all of the old energies. And one of the reasons that they appear or feel as blocks to you is that they're not congruent with all the changes you've already made to yourself, within yourself, allowed for yourself, flowed into yourself. So, and one common, controlling was a common one, said slightly different ways. Trying was a very common one, pretty much said specifically that way. So if you're trying something, you're going to keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, right? Yoda, there's no try, just do. So languaging how you language something, and it's partially how your voice gives voice to it, because there's a toning and resonance when you're communicating out loud to yourself, most importantly, because you take that energy back in and you hear it, it heals you, you feel it, there's an exchange, there's an actual toning that happens. So rather than thinking about how you're languaging things, feel into it. Let the feeling part, let the heart be the guiding part for things. And since you are source, it just is, so you have to get over it. And you're a creator being, just is, that's who you are, so you need to get over that. Nothing is coming from outside of you. It's all coming from within you. So look at that as a way to help you reframe what may have been in an older perspective, slightly more constricted perspective, as blocks that may be there. So sit with that just for a moment, and then I'd like to finish off the roundtable by going around the room, whoever feels moved to speak in the order that you do, and give voice to what focus do you want to give voice to that you're going to hold and expand in henceforth.
Jennifer, I am going to focus on continuing to tell myself whatever I tell myself. I said I am all that I am. I allow this energy, or I allow this light. I am this light. To kind of reframe, so I am asking from myself these things.
Put your hand over your phone mic, because you got a wind going. So I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. You said to kind of. Is that kind of like trying?
Did I say kind of? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not kind of doing anything. That's what I did today. I did it with all feeling I had. I said, this is what I am. This is what I want. I am allowing it. No, kind of.
It's the shift between the head and the heart. We're so indoctrinated and so trained to be in the head space, and that's where the head space comes from. And the heart just knows. You know, it's amazing thing. It knows. We may not always want to listen, but it knows.
It's funny because I didn't know I was in my headspace, and I said kind of anyway.
Wonderful. That's a wonderful
I'm
thing.
going to go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Drew.
I'm going to focus on seeing myself in others during conflict. And I'm going to focus on taking more emotional risks.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
My focus will be allowing all that I am to be expressed however I can.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I'm so. I guess I'll talk.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna focus on being grateful and thankful that I'm in the right place at the right time to be the highest perspective for the collective with love, happiness, and joy.
Yum. That's good.
I'm going to focus on giving myself forgiveness, allowing myself to go at my own pace.
I love that one.
Me too. You've got this.
Yeah, that's great.
You'll be okay. You're great. You're amazing. Just remember that. You're an amazing being.
You guys are amazing. I appreciate that so much.
Your pace is just right.
That's right. It's your pace. You're the expert, so you know that's the pace.
Yep.
And Sheila, did you go?
Yep, that was me.
No, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she said Sheila.
Oh, I thought she said Judith.
Oh.
I did say Sheila.
Well, I said the same thing Lisa did. I love Judith's answer. I feel that very same way. Actually, I'm going to focus on allowing just the trusting in myself more, but maybe even a little more about in regards to discipline. The discipline of maybe being more aware of some of the things that I haven't trusted. I think I could trust if I were paying a little more attention. So I'm going to focus my attention on discipline, on attention, on myself, and at my own pace.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Is someone standing outside and there's wind blowing past their phone?
Or is it feedback?
Or
Sounds
feedback?
weird.
Yeah. Okay, so let's all hold the energy. We're going to quiet it down for a minute because I want to just ask Sheila one thing. So, Sheila, put your hand on your heart and drop out of your head. And do you want to give voice to any slight change in particular energy frequency words on the same intention? It's a choice. There's no right or wrong. It's your choice. It's just a thought to ask that.
I'd like for you to ask it again, if you don't mind.
So I loved your intention, and I just wanted to see if there was any expansion in the feeling if you were completely dropped into your heart and giving voice to your intention. Are there any other tones that come out when you're now in the heart space fully? And trust yourself.
Being more gentle on myself.
How does that feel? Different?
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So what each of you have just given voice to right this moment is creating the new earth.
Yeah, that's our goal.
You know, in each of your own ways, in each of your own specific vibrational signatures, and the ways that they come through and do it. That's how we do this. How we expand it and get it done.
Thank you for bringing us together.
Yeah.
Thanks, BZ.
Thank you so much.
And BZ,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
And BZ, it's wonderful because when I clean my house, I listen to all of them, and oh my gosh, I just love it. I clean my house so wonderful, and I feel so glorious doing it while I'm listening to your program. I just think, oh my gosh, everybody that is not a part of the program is a part of the program when they listen to the program.
Yep.
So it's creating this massive tidal wave of wondrous.
Clean houses?
And they're just cleaning their house. but it makes me feel so glorious.
Good. Mr. Clean has nothing on the CCRTCs.
No. They do not.
I just want to tell everybody I've had so much fun playing even before we brought it into physicality. I love you all.
That's right.
Love you too.
I want to make sure with all of you it's okay to share everyone's contact info emails within this roundtable. Is that okay?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Jennifer says
great.
yes.
Yes.
So when I'll put the video together, and then I'll send you out an email that has the link to the video if you want to share that or clean by it.
Yes, definitely clean by it.
Yeah, the other ones are already up. The ones from Monday and Tuesday, so they're on the IUD.
To them. Enjoy
and
them.
then
that's cleanup day for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll pull up your emails in the email that I send out to everybody. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
See you all.
Love you all. Have a great time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.